My name's Alyssa Berthium, but likely you're going to end up calling me Allie in no time because we're going to be sharing laughter and lattes like old friends. I'm the lady boss owner of The Right Place, Right Time, which is a virtual boutique of ghostwriting services for coaches and speakers and other badass womanpreneurs who don't do words but know that they need them. I'm also a professional writer right through to my core, not just with my business, but in my personal life. My most important hat, however, is not entrepreneur or writer, it's mom. My son is my most loved character, my greatest story in the making, and absolutely my motivation for all the things that I do in my life. I am pretty sure that I came out of the womb with a story in my head and the will to write. I have been penning stories since I could hold a pencil, even if the spelling was atrocious and the sentences didn't make any sense. So writing is definitely my purpose on this earth, as is empowering women to share their stories. The thing is that I had a deep inner knowing that that was what I was supposed to be doing, but I kept hearing throughout my life that writing wasn't practical and wouldn't pay the bills. I pursued it anyway because that's the kind of person that I am, and I got my MFA in creative writing in 2010. But that degree didn't really transfer entirely to traditional jobs. So after 8 years going in and out of different avenues and paths and feeling unfulfilled, there was a series of unfortunate personal and professional events that finally had me tossing my hands up in the air and looking up into the sky and saying, "What do you want me to do? I have no idea." I felt like I had hit rock bottom and I wasn't sure where to go. Finally, I had the right tap on the shoulder, I was introduced to the right people, and I finally leapt after my dreams and onto the entrepreneurial path. Now I make my passion and my purpose for writing my living, and I get to role model for my son that your dreams can be attainable. But I won't bore you with all those details because that's not really what I'm here to talk to you about. If you want to read about it, you can read all about it in my book, Dear Universe, I Get It Now. What I really want you to know is why you should be working with me to write your story. There are 1,000 reasons that I love running The Right Place, Right Time and ghostwriting for coaches and speakers and other badass womenpreneurs. Not only do I get to be aligned with my passion and purpose and be the role model for my son that I want to be, but I get to blend this awesome part of my brain that's all about vision and ideas with my love of leadership as the CEO and founder of my business, while also getting to just dazzle in the creativity of being a writer and having all those things come together. I also get to work with phenomenal, awesome people, not just my clients, but also through my networks and other womenpreneurs that I meet along the way. The connection with others just absolutely fuels me as much as the words themselves. If I can empower others to speak their truth and tell their story and use all of my gifts and talents to do that, then I am exactly where I need to be, exactly in the moment in time that I need to be in. So I hope that you're going to become the next person on this journey with me. If you're a heart-centered person with a little bit of sass and a whole lot of authenticity, I want you to be a part of my tribe and I want us to work together. I have a boutique service, and ultimately what I want to do is I want to give supreme customer care and attention to the people that I work with. But really, I've got what I like to say 3 superpowers. The first one is that I hear between the lines, and people are often like, well, what does that mean? Usually you hear read between the lines. The thing is that when my clients come to me and they say, well, I think I want to say something, and then they go into a 10-minute digressive, monologue of what they're thinking in their head, I'm able to actually hear and infer what it is that they're actually getting at, and then repeat it back to them in a very concise and organized fashion that usually leaves them with mind blown kind of response because they're like, I had no idea I was even saying anything in clarity. So I can hear between the lines. The second thing that I can do is I can actually feel the pulse of the story or the message. I can capture your truth. Part of that is intuition, part of that is really good active listening, and the third part of that is I am just a furious researcher. I'm gonna read your content, I'm gonna know everything I can about you, I'm gonna know everything I can about your audience, and all of those 3 things weave into my third superpower, knowing 2 heartbeats. I get to know you so well that not only do I know you and your business and your voice, but I also get to know your clients, the second heartbeat. By knowing you, I get to know them, and then I get to weave all those things together onto the page for some serious word ninja-ing that you would just never believe. And my clients tell me this all the time. You make me sound better than I sound myself. You actually capture something that I didn't even know was that clear in my own mind. I totally saw myself on the page. It was as if I wrote it myself. Or my favorite, you actually wrote it better than I could have ever written it, or you made me sound better than I ever sounded before. So I am the person for you if you want to get some serious writing done and you want to change the effing world with your story. So here's the thing that I think makes me distinct from other people that are offering ghostwriting services. Number one, I want to focus on the actual authenticity and the genuine message of your story. While SEO and conversion and open rates and all those other things that have to do with normal content or copywriting are important, I won't say that they're not. They're not my focus. I really believe that what's going to make somebody get engaged with your story and what's going to have an impact on your audience is the truth of your words and your message, and that your heart is the thing that's out there on the page, as scary as that might be. So I'm not about content or writing or ghostwriting or story for content's sake. I really want to focus on what you have to say that matters to you and is ultimately going to matter to your client, because that's where transformation is going to happen. And if you can transform your audience, which I know is what you're out to do as a coach and speaker, then we really need to focus on the authenticity of what it is that you're trying to say and really forget the rest. So the biggest thing that I want you to know about working with me before we actually get started is number one, I'm pretty much equal parts sass, sarcasm, okay? And also sweet, but super intense and really want to get some shit done. So you really need to be prepared to handle my energy, my honesty, my upfrontness, and the fact that we're going to move and we're going to shake and we're going to get some serious work done together. I also want you to know that I occasionally swear. I love the F word. So it is not going to be beyond the shadow of a doubt that I drop that word at some point. And so hopefully, if you're a fellow sassy, sarcastic F-bomb slinger, you're gonna wanna work with me because we're gonna have a really freaking good time. But more than that, what I really want you to know is that I am here to support you in overcoming the barriers to telling your story. You have a very powerful narrative that the world needs to know, that your audience needs to have. So if you have some sort of mental barrier telling you nobody's gonna care, nobody wants it, it doesn't matter to anybody else, I'm here to tell you that that's not true, that that is absolutely wrong. If there is a story that has been burning inside you or a message burning inside you that you're dying to say out loud, then it does have worth, it does have value, it does have power. So please, 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 be in touch. Let's work together. Let's get you seen. Let's get you heard. Let's get that impactful story out into the world, because we don't know just how much it might change the people that actually receive it. All right, so if you want to get this conversation started and the party going, all right, I want you to go over to therightplacerightTime.com. That's WRITE in the first instance and RIGHT in the second. therightplacerightTime.com. I want you to fill out my contact form. I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself and that burning message inside you that you want to get out into the world. And then let's start talking, all right? I got a whole mug waiting to be filled with latte just for our conversation, and a bag of popcorn waiting in the kitchen, because I am just gonna be eating up what it is that you have to tell me. If you're not ready to take that leap because you're still a little hesitant about working with a ghostwriter, then I encourage you to connect with me on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and make sure that you just get to know me a little bit more before you're ready to chat. I would love to see you following me in any of those spaces. I'd love to start the dialogue, but ultimately I can't wait to hear from you in whatever way you're comfortable with right now in this moment. But hopefully and eventually we're going to be working together to bring your story into the world.